Hello, everyone. We are here live on the campus of Hofstra University. I'm Kristin Thorne. We're going to be speaking with groups of young voters here about the issues in this campaign that they're concerned about, their excitement around this whole election, and the excitement here on campus. So thanks for joining us as we're streaming live on Facebook and also at ABC-7NY. So we're going to go down the line, and each of the students is going to say their name, maybe what they're studying, so that way when you hear the questions, you kind of have a context of how they're answering those questions. All right, so we'll start with Neil.
All right. Well, I guess it's supposed to be ladies first, but my name's Neil Carousso. Kristin, great to see you today. I'm a senior here at Hofstra, journalism major, political science and business minors.
Great. My name is Chara Satchel. I am a graduate student in my second year. I graduated in May, exciting. And I'm also in the journalism program.
Great.
Hi, my name is Kelly Martin. I am a sophomore here, and I'm studying journalism and global studies and political science.
Great.
My name's Brianna Rivers. I am a senior here, actually graduating in December. Thank you very much. I'm studying broadcast journalism with a minor in drama.
Okay, great. All right, so let's start first. We've seen all the excitement here this morning. We've been live all morning here, the cheerleaders, everything. I mean, it's so great. Do you think that the excitement will actually translate into votes for younger people? That has been one of the highlights of this election, is getting young voters out. Do you think this year we may actually see that?
I hope so. I mean, to be honest with you, it's all about the millennial turnout. I did a piece, actually, that'll be on the website, abc7ny.com later. And basically, all about the millennial turnout is important because, you know, Donald Trump, a lot of his supporters, you have about 93% of them, according to some recent polls, that say that they're very adamant they're going to go to the polls on November 8th no matter what. But only 80% of Clinton supporters say they're going to head to the polls. So the difference is in enthusiasm. And I think you're going to have Trump supporters, they know that every vote matters. For Hillary Clinton, they're not too enthused about her. And that's what you're seeing around here is, all right, I'm going to vote for Hillary because it's the lesser of two evils thing. So I think that if people don't turn out for Hillary, that could give Trump a win, and it may be a surprise.
What do you think? I mean, for young voters, do you think that people are actually going to get out and vote?
I definitely think so, and I also think we're in a time where social media is big. So there are so many, you know, millennials who are now on Twitter, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, and as they're seeing, you know, their friends and also, like, you know, media outlets talking more about the campaign, it's getting them more involved. So I think it'll be a big turnout.
Okay. And you're going to vote, of course?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what do you think? I mean, this excitement, will it translate?
I think it definitely will, more so than it has in past years. I think that because the two candidates are so kind of radical this time around, that it is really causing more people to pay attention. And the more people to pay attention, the more people are willing to go out into the polls and actually vote.
Yeah. I mean, do your friends tell you they're going to go out and vote?
Oh, definitely. This election is like no other, so they're really excited to get out there and just have their voice be heard. And I think particularly at Hofstra, there's so much going on with this debate, and schools around the world are going to see how excited the students are here, that I really think that'll translate, and other students will want to go out and vote and take part as well. I think that students, millennials, are definitely going to be watching the debate tonight.
Great. So kind of the question everyone, you know, has for people your age is the issues that matter to you. You know, for a lot of us, it's terrorism. I wonder, is that something that concerns your generation?
I think that it definitely is. I think that safety in general is a really big concern for us, and I think especially with the recent activity in New York and New Jersey, it's kind of something that's very much on people's minds. So I think it's going to also be a big part of the debate tonight, and I think that that's definitely the way that the candidates handle those type of questions is definitely going to sway voters one way or another.
Okay. Yeah. What about for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Security has always been a big issue, and a lot of us have been, as millennials growing up and things and seeing here in the nation, in America, and then also international that have been going on. So I think so.
What's another issue that you would like to hear about tonight? Campus. What about college costs? College tuition is out of control. That was a Bernie Sanders issue, and I want to bring Neil, terrorism.
For me, I think first and foremost is national security. I think without national security, and we're seeing in a post 9/11 world, it's all too frequent. Without national security, there's, we can't even worry about economics, which is supposed to be, the number one issue in any campaign. It's really national security and the economy are the top two issues. But, you bring up college tuition, everyone cares about that on campus. But how do you go about that, and how do you make sure that people get education, but at the same time we're not charging people, we're not raising taxes on people who shouldn't be paying other people's tuition. And people are very adamant about that issue here on college campus, but I don't think that's a big national issue.
Right. Okay. All right. What about for you? What matters to you? What would you like to hear them talk about tonight?
Well, definitely the issue of race relations around the nation and what their plan is to kind of fix that, because I think that that's definitely an area that needs some work. And then also when it comes to privacy issues, like with tech expanding and social media becoming so vast, and especially, you know, people in my generation, we're big on social media. I want to see that we're protected, that our information isn't just being used by anyone or the government, or that anyone can't see it, that our privacy is really protected. So that's a big thing for me as well.
So Bernie Sanders had so many young voters. Where have they gone now? Where do you think they're going? Are they going to go to Trump? Are they going to go to Clinton? Are they going to go to third party? Johnson, what do you think?
I think it's going to be mixed. It just depends on, you know, how everything turns out over the course of the next couple of debates. You know, students want to see what they really have to say. I mean, we've been following it in the media, and, you know, there have been some things Clinton has been doing and then some things Trump has been doing. So, you know, we just want to, you know, see it played out on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, especially on the college campus, I mean, I even saw, we went to New Hampshire, and I covered the primary down there, and there was a group of Hofstra students who went down to New Hampshire, and they were so into Bernie Sanders at the rally, it was insane. And it was something like I've never seen before. I mean, the size of the rally, and they're very passionate, but I think they're more angry voters, kind of like what you see on the Trump side to some extent, that they're angry at the system. They want the establishment system blown up. You'll see some of them go to Trump, and then from people I talk to here, I think a lot of them just say, you know what, by default, I'm just going to go to Hillary, but I'm not enthused by it.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, so I'll ask the question. You don't have to tell me who you're voting for, but how are young people feeling? Clinton, Trump, or third party? What's going on in the heads of all you guys?
I think generally from what I've heard, it's been a lot of Clinton supporters around campus. I think that Donald Trump has kind of said some things that are turning us off in terms of the social issues, like women's rights and race relations and stuff like that. It's kind of turning us away from it, because I think social issues is another big thing that millennials are looking for. And I think I have heard some people are going third party, but I think for the most part, especially because of Bernie Sanders' big push when he endorsed Clinton, and he said, like, don't write me in, just vote for Clinton. I think that a lot of people are kind of listening to him and going towards the Democratic side.
Okay, what do you think? What are you hearing from your friends?
Well, I did a piece last semester during the primaries where I went around and talked to a bunch of college students all over Long Island, asking them, you know, who are you voting for? And it was Bernie, 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 Bernie. And they were sad to see him go. So I think now it's, just as Neil said, they're kind of turning towards Hillary as a default, but they're not enthused about it. I do see more millennials going out and voting for Hillary. I do hear more support even around our campus for Hillary, but they're not completely sold because they're not enthused about it. So it could sway a different way.
Right, which what makes this debate so exciting today and why everyone's watching. Do we have any questions from Facebook Live? Any interesting ones?
There is one question about Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
And her track record, how a lot of people feel about the trust issue that's come up.
Okay. All right. Okay. The trust issue. Okay, so we have some questions from Facebook Live, so thank you so much for those. Continue to do that. We'd love to answer them. So it seems that some people are asking about the trust issue with Hillary Clinton. A lot of young voters, we know, we've heard it, they said it, are going to be leaning towards her in this election, maybe because of their support of Bernie Sanders, and they figure, you know, I'm just going to go over and vote for her, or because they value her as a candidate. The trust issue has come up. You know, the Benghazi issue, there's a lot of, that's been in the polls, that people don't trust her. That word trust we keep hearing over and over. How are young people dealing with that issue, Neil?
Yeah, people don't trust Hillary Clinton. They don't trust both of them, young people. But for the most part, Hillary Clinton, they understand that, you know, she destabilized Middle East. She caused a lot of issues there, led to, you know, Trump says she's the co-founder of ISIS. I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch. But if you look at it, I mean, her policies led to negative effects in the Middle East. And then the emails, she used a, bleach bit to, wipe away her emails. And she comes across very rehearsed. She comes across as a compulsive liar. She's been proven to lie, and there's a lot of questions whether, she should be charged for perjury right now. And then she takes money for the Clinton Foundation. There's a big pay-for-play questions. I mean, she takes money from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, the UAE, and there are concerns that, those countries who, treat women as second-class citizens, that, had a death penalty, especially Saudi Arabia has a death penalty for homosexuals, that there's a concern that she's being bought and that she's not really the champion of women's rights. And I think that's what millennials are concerned about. And, basically the overwhelming majority of the electorate, they're saying, hey, I mean, how could she claim she's a champion and take this money?
And then, of course, people have issues with Trump as well. They've had, people have fact-checked his speeches and say he lies often too in a lot of these or exaggerates and things like that. So how do you guys make sense of all of this?
It's hard. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that each candidate is saying and their campaigns are saying. There's a lot that the media is saying. I think that basically what we have to do is take a little bit of everything with a grain of salt from a bunch of different sources and kind of just try to put it together and talk about it and have conversations and figure out what is the best thing for this country. But I think that over time, that's definitely gotten trickier with like the social media and like how much exposure each candidate has. It's a lot easier for them to like kind of like sway their message or like change their message based on like how people react because it's so like instant back and forth.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, we talk a lot about what the candidates are going to say. What is the type of demeanor you want to see, right? I'm very into looking at body language, TV, and that's what's so great about these debates is you see there's a whole other thing going on, right, when you're watching them. What type of demeanor of a candidate are you looking for?
Well, I think it's different for each candidate, kind of what they have to do. With Hillary, I feel like she has to give off a kind of more approachable vibe than she normally does, because sometimes she can be a little bit too serious, and that kind of turns people off. It makes her not seem as approachable or likable or not.
Feels like your mother?
Yeah, a little bit, so that's one thing for her. And then I think that with Donald Trump, it's kind of the opposite. Like, he has to show a little bit more of that serious character, that he's not, making faces, mocking people during the debate, mocking the moderator, mocking the other candidate. He has to be a little bit more presidential. Yeah. So the two of them maybe like meet in the middle a little bit,
Right. What about you? What would you like to see? A demeanor from a candidate?
Well, basically, I guess with Donald Trump, he just has to be a little bit softer too, because he's been like a little bit outrageous, I feel, media-wise. And then with Hillary kind of bouncing off Brianna, yeah, she needs to be like, she kind of gives that like mom feel off a little bit, but she probably has to calm that down a bit. So.
Right. What about for you?
I think Trump has to stay on message. I think the polls have shown that since Kellyanne Conway took over as his campaign manager, that he's been on message, he's stayed on teleprompter, and he's resonating with people. He's met with the Mexican president, he met with Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday, the Israeli prime minister. So I think that's the fact that he's staying on message and talking about real important issues is good for him. But he has to, in a non-rehearsed, rally, he has to be able to stay on message tonight. Also, he can't demean Hillary Clinton. I know there's a lot of questions about will he bring up, Bill Clinton's sex scandals and accuse her of, playing a part in that, in the searchment of these women. I think he has to be careful to toe that line because he's going to be called a sexist if he does that. So, and that's pretty much every liberal kind of calls conservative sexist, racist, homophobic. It's the generic thing. So they'll be able to accuse him of that if he goes that way. As far as Hillary goes, she just has to sound more human. I think she comes across like a robot sometimes, and if she shows more personality, she'll come across better.
So I guess everyone's watching tonight. What are your plans for tonight? What are you doing?
I'm actually going to one of the debate watch parties on campus. They have a bunch of different ones based on different issues and based on like different things that people are concerned about. And so I'm definitely going to be going to one of those and kind of getting the feel of like the rest of the campus, how everyone else is reacting, and really like paying attention to what each of the candidates are saying.
What about for you? What are you doing tonight?
I'm going to be watching the debate. I'm not sure which party yet because there are like 10 parties going.
It's party time on campus.
It is awesome. So I'm going to find a spot, watch the debate, pay close attention because we've been waiting for this.
Yeah, this is so exciting. I mean, I can't tell you the last time when I was in college, we just did not have an election like this. We never would have thought to sit with young people and talk to them about this, in the past elections. So it's just really exciting. For you, tell me about campus, everything people have been up all night, right? They've been up all night.
Yes. And it's great because there are so many different outlets here. So like there are so many students who are just coming out, everybody's being interviewed. So they're like getting in the spirit, and it's just been great for the last couple hours.
Yeah. What about for you? What are you doing tonight?
It's the Super Bowl of politics, so you're going to be in front of the TV. I'm working for Eyewitness News.
Chicken wings, popcorn.
You know what? Maybe I'll get Sade and
21. I don't know.
I turned 21 in November.
Okay, all right. So nothing for
no
you
alcohol,
yet.
but I'll be with Sade and Bill tonight, so maybe I'll get them some hot wings. I don't know.
there we go.
Let's ask Sade and Bill if they want them.
I know. Very good. Well, I thank you so much for joining us, and really, and it's so nice to have Hofstra in the limelight. I mean, you think about all the people that are going to be watching. So, but it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful day. So thank you so much for joining us and hearing from young voters. And thank you guys. Awesome. Really great conversation. Intelligent. It was really good conversation. So thank you so much. We will have so much content today on Facebook, on all of our pages, my page, everyone's pages. We're going to be here all day. Be sure to keep checking ABC7NY for any updates. And thank you again for joining us.